Hey, Roger Martin here from Village, Montana. Good day. One of the most important stories that is not talked about is why the media focuses on what they do and why they don't cover other stories. And this is lightly covered here.
Why they're showing something and making you look at something because they want you to think something is happening when it really isn't. This, to me, looks like another push to start something in Iraq, almost like a Benghazi tactic. And Trump, he kind of laid it all out with a tweet. Iran killed an American contractor, wounding many. We strongly responded and always will. Now Iran is orchestrating an attack on the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. They will be held fully responsible. In addition, we expect Iraq to use its forces to protect the embassy and so notified. So if you notice, Trump said
Now, pay attention to this.
Iran. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, no, it's not Iran, it's Iraq. No, it is Iran. This was planned about three months ago. Now, M. Hanif Jazyari tweeted out the following. Editorial in today's Kayan Daily by Rep of Iran's regime supreme leader urges Iraqis to take over a U.S. embassy in Baghdad. Why haven't Iraqi youths ended the presence of the U.S. embassy in Baghdad? Why haven't you thrown out this infected wound from your Holy Land? Then, in December 27, 2019, we have this from News of Iraq. A senior Iraq security official for Al Hurra TV, the appointment of Lieutenant General Tassin al-Adoubi, alias Abu Montazer al-Husseini, in charge of the security of the Green Zone in the middle of, was ordered directly by Qasem Soleimani as part of the scheme aimed at terrorizing diplomatic missions in the country. So we have Qasem Soleimani. That is the focal point of all of this. And Mike breaks it down for us. What is this anti-American protest in Baghdad about? The picture tells it all. Protesters, presumably from Kataib Hezbollah, scroll Qasem Soleimani is our leader on the U.S. Embassy wall. Soleimani is the leader of Iran's Quds forces. He built the Iraqi militias. He continued, this gentleman monitoring the protest, and there's a picture of him, Fali al-Fawad. He's chairman of al-Hashd al-Shabi, the Popular Mobilization Units, the official umbrella organization that knits together the pro-Iranian Shiite militias. So al-Fahad was the head of the Al-Shibi Commission and is affiliated with former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki's State of Law Coalition. Now, this individual is an Iraqi politician, head and advisor of the National Security Council, chairman of the Popular Mobilization Forces, and the founder of a Fatah movement. Now, when Abadi came into power, he got rid of this individual, Fali al-Fahad, in 2018. He said, in light of Mr. Fali Fahad getting involved in practicing political and partisan work and his wish to address political affairs, which goes against the critical national task he is holding, he decided to get rid of this individual. So let me continue with Mike's tweets. Odds are overwhelming that Iran organized his protest in Baghdad. Here's a suggestive tweet from 4 days ago. It says Qasem Soleimani got friend Tassin al-Aboudi appointed as head of security in the Green Zone in order to squeeze foreign embassies. This gentleman leading the protest is Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, founder and leader of Hezbollah. Now, Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, he went from the most wanted terrorist to the most powerful Iran's man in Iraq. So this guy Abu is the deputy head of Iraq Popular Mobilization Forces, and this is the umbrella group of mostly Iran-backed Shia militias in Iraq. Now, this individual, Abu, whose real name is Jamal Jafar Ibrahimi, has been working alongside Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps since the 80s and presently reports to Qasem Soleimani, the commander of the Quds forces, IRGC's external wing. He is married to an Iranian. His goal is building an Islamic Republic in Iraq and form the Iraq version of the Iranian Al-Quds forces. From the beginning, the Islamic Revolution was his motivation, according to Iraq's former National Security Advisor, Mofiq al-Robiyi. Let me continue with Mike's tweets here. All of Qasem Soleimani's best friends joined the party at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The handsome turbaned gentleman is, I believe, Qais al-Khalizi, the leader of Asib al-Haq, a pro-Iranian militia. Now, keep in mind that all these individuals are on the ground. They're monitoring the protest. They're the ones who are controlling all of this. They were put there on purpose as the handlers to control the protest. Now, this guy, Qais al-Khalizi, is the founder and leader of Asib al-Haq, an Iranian-sponsored Shia militia and political party operating primarily in Iraq. During the U.S.-led counterinsurgency, al-Khazili was one of the most wanted men in Iraq. Since he was released in January 2010, he has continued to lead the AAH in both its paramilitary and political activities. Individuals, they're all part of the same type of group working together to push protests like this. Let me continue with Mike's protest. The AAH ran in the May of 2018 national elections with the Fatah Alliance, a coalition of Iran-backed Hasid Shabi militia. AAH won 15 seats, propelling Khalizi into position of political power within the new government. The attacks on the embassy right now are being conducted, and it looks like they're being conducted from multiple points right now. And all these people who I just mentioned are monitoring and handling the protests. Now, Hanif Jaziri tweeted out the following. Did you know that Badr Corps Chief Hadi Amri, who led today's raid on the U.S. Embassy in Iraq, was once invited to the White House by Barack Obama? FYI, Amiri and the Badr Corps get their salary and orders from the Iran's dictator Ali Khamenei. And yes, as you can see...
Wow. So it appears that Iran is leading all this demonstration in Baghdad and Iraq. So, wow. What a mess, but it's going to pull out who's doing what, and that may lead to some kill strikes in the future.
From Fox News, there's a picture of Obama and the individual. He visited the White House. Now, the question is, why is this happening? Why is this happening now? And why is Iran pushing protests in Iraq? Now, is this the good people of Iran? No.
So again, Iran is trying to control Iraq and control a narrative from the elite groups, cause another major skirmish in the Middle East.
This is the deep state. This is the intelligence organizations, these individuals that I mentioned. They are the handlers in this area, and they're trying to start something. This is why Trump tweeted out, letting everyone know it is Iran that is pushing the protests in Iraq. It's not a grassroots protest. This was planned 4 months ago, and just a couple of days ago, they confirmed it. Now let's go back to post 1345. This is May 12, 2018. It says, reread Crumb's R.E. Iran. It was never about worldwide safety and security. It was never about nuclear disarmament. It was about opening a new untapped market. It was about securing a black site, an intelligence black site in Iran. Did they establish that? Yes. Are there still rogue intelligence organizations running out of Iran? Yes. The exchange, Uranium One, risked the welfare of the world. Why? Money. Organized, planned by BC, HRC. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Carried out by Hussein. Remember HRC ran against Hussein? Uranium One, donations to Clinton.
Again, so you're getting back to Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Obama. Unreal.
Foundation. $1.7 billion in cash transferred to Iran. 4 routes, 5 planes. Did the total withdrawal actually depart EU? Why EU? Define bribe, define kickback, special interest groups. What U.S.-EU company immediately closed large deals in Iran post-deal? Define bribe, define kickback. Why are people panicking about Iran deal pullout? They never thought she would lose. Truth coming. Then we move on to post-1454. EU sanctions, Iran. Leaders of EU only care about protecting flow of money, not the safety and security of their people world. Iran deal orchestrated for the sole purpose of lifting sanctions blockade to allow access of foreign businesses for individual and company-wide enrichment. Scam. Nothing to do with nukes. This was a cover story. Hussein, pallets of cash. Hussein's secret authority to convert U.S. dollar. More coming. Then we have Joseph J. Flynn, who's the brother to Mike Flynn. And it says how incredibly despicable these fake news traders are. Mourners, the head of Iran's IRCG, is outside the embassy leading these terrorists. And he's absolutely right. We just went through it. All these individuals, these handlers, are outside and they are orchestrating this entire protest. And the question, once again, is why? Because they know that Trump now and the Patriots, they're closing in. They're getting ready to expose it all. Their fake impeachment, everything that they tried did not work. And as Trump and the Patriots get closer and closer to exposing them, we're going to see more and more of these type of events where they're going to try to push Trump and the Patriots into doing something. I mean, think about this. Let's go back in time a little bit. Remember back in May of 2018 when Kerry was quietly seeking to salvage the Iran deal? And he went over to Iran and he was engaging in shadow diplomacy to try to preserve the deal, to make sure they were still on board. Well, this is a violation of the Logan Act. Actually, Trump came out.
Interesting. Go back here. Kerry is one of the snakes. But look at all the gold inlaid in this building. You know, all the money they waste on their affluence and all the con jobs that are going on. Kerry is one of the snakes that should be in prison in my mind. So should Obama, so should Bill and Hillary. But will we ever get there? I don't know.
To make sure they were still on board? Well, this is a violation of the Logan Act. Actually, Trump came out and said John Kerry should be prosecuted under the Logan Act. And remember, the Logan Act...
Again, Trump is right. John Kerry should be prosecuted under the Logan Act. Wow. Can't get any plainer than that, and that's from the Hill.
Act is legislation enacted by the United States in 1799 that forbids private citizens from engaging in unauthorized correspondence with foreign governments. And what did John Kerry do? This is exactly what he did, because he did this out of fear. He wanted to make sure that Iran was still on board, that everything that was in place was still in place, that they weren't going to fold. And now you can see they're really worried because Trump and the Patriots are closing in. Now, why would they do this now? Here we are at the end of 2019 going into 2020. We know elections are coming up, and we know the fake impeachment is not going to hold up. They know they're going to be exposed. So they needed a way to clog the news cycles. I mean, let's go back to other presidents where they entered a war, because this is what they're trying to push Trump into, just like with North Korea. At every turn, they're trying to get a war. But remember, this is what they wanted. They wanted a war.
Yes, he did. Remember Obama, just before he left office and just after President Trump swore in by oath, tried to start a war with North Korea. One of our ships off of Korea, sending out a missile, and one of our planes, the good guys, knocking that out of the sky. What a mess. Again, you're getting the battle between the deep state, central banks, and Trump and the White Hats. Who's going to win?
War. But remember, Trump doesn't play this game. He doesn't just say, okay, you crossed a red line, we're going to war. He does things that they don't expect him to do. Like have peace talks with Kim Jong-un, to write letters to Kim Jong-un, to fly down there and walk across the DMZ. They never expected that. Remember, all the...
Yeah, they never expected that. Matter of fact, they didn't even think that was possible. And he shook hands with them and he says, can you be there at the border? Can you shake hands with me? Can we have a photo op? No problem. And he's got these couriers going between North Korea and him because they don't want stuff picked up electronically. Again, Trump does things differently and they hate him for it.
Those people that were around him, they got rid of him, that wanted war. Yes, there's still those that are there, but a lot of them are being removed. Trump has a very tight group. And outside of this group, they have no idea what is going on. They think they do, but they really don't. Now, if we go back in time, and we go back to Harry Truman, the Korean War contributed to Harry Truman's defeat in the New Hampshire primary and his 1952 decision not to run again. Lyndon Johnson saw his party shattered and chances vanish with the Tet Offensive of 1968. Jimmy Carter, his response to the Iran crisis, well, it looks like his entire campaign completely fell apart. What are they trying to do with Trump right now? They're trying to get him into something. So they orchestrated this event to try to push him into this. But this is going to fail.
So again, we have to learn from history. And one of the things that Trump said, and the news didn't pick it up at all, he says, I am a student of history. And until we learn from the historical mistakes we make and learn to do better things than that, we're just going to be another puppet or pawn and fall into the same traps so many other generations have. And Trump is smart enough to say, hey, I'm not going to play ball with you guys. And he hasn't been. And they hate him even more because of it. Again, this war between Trump and the White Hats and the central banks and the elite groups is incredible. They're trying to stage these wars and these protests like there's something serious, and you're going to find out that they're not. They're just ways to manipulate the public and the media and to get the biggest bang for the buck so they can control and continue to manipulate both the media, the general population, and the money flow. Remember, it's all about staying in control. It's all about controlling the money. It's all about the manipulation of both the people and the markets and the money. We haven't even talked about the manipulation of the markets. But it's another situation there that they try to control. Wherever the money is, where the power is, you can bet they've got their finger on it and try to control it.
Let's go back to post 1822. Q says, in brackets in bold, fake news. Fake news collaborating and pushing knowingly false information. Fake news, knowingly false narrative pushes. POTUS colluded with Russia to win the 2016 presidential election. POTUS is a puppet to Putin. POTUS is irreparably harm relationships with our allies.
Anyhow, he's going to read all these. Let's go on past this. But you see why you have to understand history to understand really what's going on and have to get past the mainstream media.
What are they hiding? They would like to see something with Iran. They're pushing this, and there's a reason for it. Their reason is because they're about to be exposed, and they need some type of an event to cover all this up. And Trump, the Patriots, we know they're onto them. And Trump, he tweeted this out. To those many millions of people in Iraq who want freedom and who don't want to be dominated and controlled by Iran, this is your time. He's letting the people.
What a powerful statement. To the millions of people in Iraq who want freedom and don't want to be controlled by Iran, this is your time. Think about this. And this was done at 7:44 a.m. on the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, the last day of 2019. Wow.
People know that, listen, we know that this is Iran. We know that this isn't the intelligence organization pushing this protest. We know that this is not the Iraqi people. The Iraqi people, if you don't want this anymore, this is your time to show the intelligence organizations and those within Iran and those people in Iraq trying to push this that, no, we know what you're up to. We know what your plan is, and we're not going along with it. And we have to understand, Trump, with his first tweet, he laid it out there. This is not an Iraqi protest. This is an Iranian protest pushed and controlled by the intelligence organization, the deep state, to get us into some type of war. But like everything else, this is going to fail. The Patriots already knew that this was coming. The Patriots understood what they were planning. They realized that they wanted this exposed to the world. Remember, they let these things happen on purpose. They don't want to just stop them because it's better to expose it all to the world, to let them see who is orchestrating all of this and let them understand how this is coming about. I mean, the mainstream media right now, they're saying they're Iraqi mourners, they're Iraqi protesters that don't like the United States. Trump, he's not saying that. We're not saying that. We're saying it's something completely different. It is a protest that was created and organized by the intelligence organization to push a certain agenda.
Out of Iran, not Iraq. I remember we went in there with Saddam Hussein, and that never's been really talked about why they went in there. But I believe that certain black ops and other individuals said that dealt with treasures and stuff in the museum there, and also dealt with other high-tech instruments and other things. That's never been proven, but it's never been denied either. So again, what happens on the front and what happens behind the scenes, it's always two different stories. It's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.